Hi everyone, welcome to Object Oriented Programming class. Please use headphone for better audio quality. Now we discuss about the topic thread creation using inheritance concept. So all of you know that inheritance means we have to use the keyword extends keyword, and also one of the class act as a base class. That class is called as a thread class. Okay, so thread creation in Java. In Java, threads can be created in two ways. One is extending the class. That means define the class that extends the thread class and override its run method. That means we have to define one new class. That new class inherit the properties of the base class thread class. Then thread class contains one method. The method name is run method. We have to override that method in the class. Okay. Then run method contains code required by the respective thread. The second method is implementing the runnable interface. Implementing the runnable, that means in Java, one interface is available. That interface name is runnable interface. Define a class that implements the runnable interface. The runnable interface has a method declaration named as run method. So this run method should be defined in this class. The run method contains the code required by the thread. That means thread can be created in two ways, by using inheritance concept and interface concept. By inheritance concept, we have to use the base class as a thread class. In interface concept, we have to use the interface runnable interface. Okay. The first one, extending the thread class. First method. Here a thread class is one of the class in java.lang.package. It's one of the class in the java.language package. Each thread is either instance of this class or the instance of the subclass of this class. Next one, in extending the thread class contains three major steps. The first steps, define a class which extends the thread class, first one. Second one, override the run method. Third one, create the thread object and call the start method to initiate the thread execution. Now we will see the step by step process. The first one, define a class which extends the thread class. The syntax for this class, user defined class name extends thread class name. Then open curly brace, set of statements. In next one, inside the class, we have to override the method run method, that is public void run method. Then open curly brace, code for the thread and close curly brace, and remaining set of statement and close curly brace. So we have to define the class which extends the thread class. This is the first step. In second step, override the run method. Override the run method means already thread class having one method, that method is run method. In this class we have to override the run method. The run method contains the code for the respective thread. The syntax for the run method is public void run open bracket close bracket and open curly brace, set of quotes and close curly brace. Third step is create the thread object and call the start method to initiate the thread execution. The syntax for this, first of all we have to define one class, that is user defined class name. Then we have to create the object for the user defined class name, that is user defined class name space thread object name, that's a user defined object name equal to new space user defined class name. First create the object, that is first we have to create the thread object, then call the start method using that object name, that is thread thobj name, thread object name dot start. That means this statement calls the run method. Okay, or otherwise we have to use another one syntax is new user defined class name open bracket close bracket or dot start method open bracket close bracket semicolon. We have to use any one of the syntax. Here the first line creates a new object of the class user defined class name. This statement just to create an objects. Now the thread is in newborn state. The second line calls a start method. It means that the thread is to move to the runnable state. Then Java called the run method. Now the thread is in the running state. After finishing, the thread exits from the thread goes to the dead state. Okay. The example program. Here one program is there, but it is class A extends thread. First step, extends thread. Class A extends thread. Second step, we have to override the method public void run. In this method, we are doing one task, that is for I integer I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to 5 I plus plus. Inside the for loop, we have to print all the 5 I values from 1 to 5. After finishing the for loop, we have then one more print line system.out.println exit from A. This is the task of the run method. That is, run method prints the value from 1 to 5 and exit from A. This is the first class. The next one, second, I am going to create the second thread, class B, extends thread. Class B also contains one run method. That run method, we have to declare variable for integer j equal to 1 to j less than or equal to 5, j plus plus. Then print all the j values from 1 to 5 and exit from B. That means this is the second thread. So already we have one more thread, A thread. Second thread is, second class is P. Third thread, class C, extends thread. In third thread also override the method, run method. Here k value varies from 1 to 5 and print all the 5 k values and exit from C. Now we are having three threads, thread A, thread B and thread C. All the threads base class is a thread class. Okay, thread A performs to print the values of I from 1 to 5. Then B, j equal to 1 to 5, C, k equal to 1 to 5 and exit from A, B, C. Okay, the next one, main method. Here the main class name is class test thread, public static void main string argument, A space test A equal to new A. Then next, first you have to create the object for the class. Then new, that is object name dot start, or otherwise another one syntax is the new B open bracket class, second class name is B open bracket close bracket dot start. That is creating the object and call the start method. Then third one, creating the object for the C class and call the start method. Then closing. In this program, we have created the three new threads and started them. They are running concurrently on their own. They do not follow any specific order. That means all the three threads are started. That means the output comes from, for each and every execution, we will get the different output. The first time I am going to run the same program, java c space test thread.java, java space test thread. This time, actually all of you know that thread concept means process switcher from one thread to another threads. So already in this program we are having three threads, A, B and C. A prints the value of I from 1 to 5, B prints the values for J 1 to 5, C thread prints the value for K 1 to 5. Here now on in this main program we have started all the threads. Okay, in this case, first of all the processor prints the A value for 2 times, I equal to 1 printed, I equal to 2 printed. After that processor switch over to third thread. From thread C, k equal to 1, k equal to 2. The next time again process switch over to B, j equal to 1. Next switch over to C, next A, next C, B, C, A. Like that automatically the process switch over from one thread to another thread in random fashion, not in the sequential fashion. Then after finishing from thread A, I equal to 4 means exit from C. First C completed, then A completed, then finally B is completed. Second time I am going to execute the same program for the second time. This time you have to see the output from thread A executed for 2 times, then B executed all the 5 times, exit from B. Then A 2 times, then C 1 time and again A, exit from A. That is third time exit from thread C, k equal to 2 to 5 and exit from C. That means here also we are getting a different output. So next time I am going to run the same program. What will happen? First 4 times it execute the A thread, then B thread 1 time, again A thread, then exit from A. Then next one again now the process switch over to C thread and execute all the task, that is exit from C. Next process switch over to P thread and complete the task. So that means the processor switch over from one thread to any other thread at any time. That means you will get the different outputs. Okay, we will get the same output in different format. So second program, now I am going to create the 2 more threads. The first thread is square. Class square extends thread class. The class square performing squaring of the numbers. For example, in this class square public void main int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Inside the for loop we have to print the square of the respective number, that is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square and 5 square, and exit from the square class. That is the first thread is over. Then second thread name is cube. Class cube extends thread. In here also we have to override the run method, j is equal to 1 to j equal to 5. Here we have to compute the cube of the number, that is 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube and 5 cube, and exit from the class cube. That means in this program we have 2 threads, one is square class, second one is cube class. Okay. Then main program class my thread public static void main string argument. We have to create the object for the square class as well as cube class, then call the start method. Here new start new square dot start, new cube dot start. Okay, object created and call the run method also. Here the first thread performs the square of the number and second thread performs the cube of the number. They are running concurrently on their own. They do not follow the any specific also. Okay, here the first output run. I am going to execute the first time run from thread 1, square of 1 equal to 1, square of 2 equal to 4, square of 3 equal to 9. That means first 3 times processor execute the square class. Then processor execute the 3 times for a cube class, again 2 times for square class, again 2 times for cube class, then finish exit from cube and exit from the square class. Okay, that means we will get the same output in different format. I am going to run the same program in second time, means you will see the difference. From thread 1, square of 1, square of 2, this time the square class will be executed for 4 times, then cube 1 time, again square of 5, then cube 2 times, then exit from the square class, then cube again 2 times, then exit from the cube class. That means we will get the same output in different format. That is the main importance of the thread concept. Here the thread means multi-threading, means the process switch over from one threads to another threads at any time. Now we conclude the session. Now we discuss about the thread creation using inheritance concept. Thanks for watching. Thank you.